why. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk about Wii U Special Edition games, pretty much like the games that released as collector's editions. I don't have everything. There's a lot of them that are just obscenely expensive. I'm mainly talking about the Nintendo Store exclusives, Nintendo World Store, now known as Nintendo NY. Those are obscenely expensive. Now, those were also released in like other regions like Europe, and they weren't nearly as expensive there. But, you know, I'm just kind of picky, and if I can get a game that was released in my region, I want that, you know, I want my region. You know, if it was only released in Europe, or like if it was only released in Europe or in Japan, I'll probably try to get the European version. You know, and if it was only released in Japan, I'll get the Japanese version. I'm kind of picky sometimes. Actually, you know, sometimes, you know, compared to European and Japanese version, sometimes I get the Japanese version. I don't know. Either way, the Mario Kart 8 and Hyrule Warriors Wii U Special Editions, those released in North America only at Nintendo World Store, and they were very limited, and now they are very expensive. Maybe someday, but not today. But yeah, I have a couple of Special Edition games here, and I just want to get this out of the way also, that some Special Edition games don't really count. Some games you may consider Special Edition don't really count. So I'm mainly talking about stuff like this stuff, or even Twilight Princess HD, and I'll explain what's going on with this. These are like, they're big cool box sets, but they were only released in this method here in North America at the very least. So it's just like, even if Super Mario Maker has like a cool cardboard box, this is the only method it was released in North America, so that's not really special edition. This is just how it's released. But I can explain this. These are the box formats for how Nintendo would release Amiibo-based games. Games that come bundled with Amiibo. Twilight Princess HD only came in this bundle, at least here in North America physically. And what I did back when Amiibo, you know, like back in like 2014, 15, 16, back when people were taking Amiibo very, very seriously, I saw various methods to preserve the packaging for Amiibo. And the one that I decided to go about in terms of, like, you know, opening up your Amiibo in a way that doesn't completely ruin, you know, the cool boxes, was cutting around the plastic container, and so that way you preserve the cool box. Or at least the cool cardboard backing. So I would save all my cardboard backings in these Amiibo Special Edition boxes. So, you know, I have Jigglypuff, Ike, Lucas, the only ones that really matter. So, as you can see, I would cut around, and I would just get rid of the the plastic container. I saved them for a little bit, but they just took up too much room, and eventually you just stop caring. Now, I usually just rip open Amiibo. Like, I just don't care that much. But, you know, I do still have these, pretty much most of them from the 2015 era that, you know, that I was buying back then. But I also, oh man, I was naughty and I bought some imports. But yeah, these don't really count as special editions because these were the only editions. But might as well start off with one of the first really, really cool ones. This is the Wind Waker HD Collector's Edition. This was only available at GameStop. And Wind Waker HD was a very interesting case. This was released digitally first, kind of by surprise. You know, it was always kind of slotted for that October time frame. And then it just randomly came out. And this was when they announced the September price drop for the Wii U. In September 2013, they announced it like a couple weeks ahead of time. But they announced it a couple weeks ahead of time, and they said on like September, it was like mid-September, you're gonna get a Wind Waker HD Special Edition console, and it'll come pre-installed, or a download code, I forget. One or the other. A digital copy of Wind Waker HD. Digitally was the only way to play Wind Waker HD for a couple weeks. It didn't exclusively come with that Wii U bundle, but, you know, because that Wii U bundle released in September, they decided to release the game early digitally alongside it. So the game launched in, like, mid-September digitally, and then it launched physically in early October, and this was the special edition that came alongside the physical release, exclusive at GameStop, and yeah, it comes with a Ganondorf figurine. He's of course in the Wind Waker style, using the swords that he had in the final Wind Waker fight. And yeah, it's literally just a figurine. It's a bit of a like a it's a bit of an Amiibo before Amiibo, but it's a pretty neat collector's edition. It literally only comes with the figurine, so that's, you know, but so I mean, like, at the very least, like, you don't really feel like you're missing out on much by not getting this, but it's a really cool one. And like I said, it does feel kind of like Amiibo before Amiibo, especially with how they have the cutout right here. They did something similar with Majora's Mask 3D for the 3DS. When that released, there was a Skull Kid figurine, which is interesting because that released after Amiibo came out, but that wasn't an Amiibo, it was just a figurine. But very cool figurine, very high quality, very cool collector's edition, and it was very cheap too. I think this was like just like $10 more than the standard set, so, you know, that was really neat. This was one that I didn't have for the longest time, and I finally bit the bullet and I got it on eBay. In reality, I remember the Nintendo Online Store for a little bit had copies of these brand new for like MSRP, but I didn't get it through that. I got it through some dirty eBay seller, and it's still brand new. It's the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U controller bundle. This comes with the GameCube controller and adapter. There's literally like no difference between this and just buying all of them separately, but you get this really, really nice package, which is everything all right here, but you know, the back of the box is the exact same as the regular back of the box for the for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. It's just literally you get pretty much everything included in this set. That's about it. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Special Edition is a bit similar in terms of like how the package is styled. However, that one contained like exclusive things like a steelbook. So there's definitely a bit more merit to that special edition, though this one's a bit more functional as it gives you literally everything that you needed, which was the GameCube adapter and the GameCube controller. I remember these were insanely hard to find for a little bit there. I was very lucky and I pre-ordered the adapter and the controller. Actually, the controller wasn't that hard to find. It was mainly the adapter, because the adapter was what you actually needed. The controller was just, it was nice to have like a brand new GameCube controller re-released. But the adapter was like 100% necessary to play Super Smash Bros. For Wii U with a GameCube controller. I really wanted this bundle, but I ended up just pre-ordering everything separately. But yeah, I'm very happy to finally have the Smash for Wii U Special Edition. Even though I don't really think it's necessarily called Special Edition, it's more so, you know, the controller bundle. This was one of my greatest purchases back then. It was the Nintendo Land controller bundle. This released around like 2013, 2014, after, at least after the original Luigi Wii Remote Plus release, which that was around the time Super Mario 3D World came out. So I think this was like later 2013, early 2014, around then. But yeah, it's basically just Nintendo Land with Wii Remote Plus included. I don't know if they picked the Luigi one mainly because it was like the year of Luigi around that time, so they were like, here's another excuse. But I got this for incredibly cheap. I think I got this for like 20-30 bucks. It was on sale or clearance at like Best Buy, and yeah, it was just cheap. It was just like, I got this remote for cheaper than it was going for without Nintendo Land. I already had Nintendo Land because it came included with my Wii U, but I got this bundle for like 30 bucks when a Wii Remote Plus by itself was like 40. So I got this Wii Remote and a free copy of Nintendo Land alongside that. And this remote is still kind of my go-to Wii remote because it was like one of my most new Wii remotes at the time. I still use it for pretty much like everything I do on Wii U, and it's starting to show its age a little bit. You know, like with a lot of controllers from this era, I think a lot of people are starting to, you know, get like 360 and PS3 controllers that are like kind of starting to go a little bad. And Wii remotes are kind of the same. But yeah, I mean, it's still doing its duty. It's still kind of my go-to Wii remote, and I'm a very proud Luigi Wii Remote Plus owner. So this one's a little harder to explain. I was at a game store, and this game store was like really cool. They kind of specialized in more import type stuff. You know, not entirely, but they had like whole sections of like, oh man, the Japanese section for this console. So that was really cool. And this is where I first got a lot of my Japanese Wii U games. And one of the first ones that I got was the Bayonetta 2 special edition in Japan. Now, this one was interesting considering this came with both copies of Bayonetta 1 and 2, but you get a special case for Bayonetta 1, where here in North America, they had a much more sensible option, which was just have it included in the same case. You know, it's obviously cool to get Bayonetta 1 in its own case, but obviously it made more sense to do it how we did it here. But yeah, in Japan, they had a bundle that these two games came in this cardboard box, which it's a very, very nice cardboard box, and it's also really, really cool to get both games in their own special case. Way better than how they did the Switch version here, which was Bayonetta 1 came on a download with a download code. In Japan, they got like the full shebang on Wii U, and they still got the full shebang on Nintendo Switch. In Japan, like you got the whole setup. You got Bayonetta 1 on a cartridge in a case. That was amazing. So this was really, really cool in Japan, and I'm really happy that I have this set, even though it's kind of pointless considering I already have the game in North America, and you know, it's the same game. But yeah, I like this. Technically speaking, this counts. This is one of the Amiibo bundles that, you know, weren't necessary. This wasn't the only way to get Yoshi's Woolly World. Yeah, I guess I can use this as an opportunity to talk about the other Amiibo bundles for Wii U, which included like Mario Party 10. You also had Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. You had a lot of Amiibo bundles that were options, you know, getting the game with the Amiibo. And Yoshi's Woolly World was one of them. And there was no way I was passing up the Yarn Yoshi Amiibo. That was incredible. Like that made my jaw drop. And considering, you know, like just take that in consideration, I didn't have much going on in 2015. But yeah, this was a great option to just get the Amiibo with the game. It was cheaper than just buying the game and the Amiibo separately, because the game, Yoshi's Woolly World by itself was just 50 bucks, and with the game and Amiibo bundle, it was only 60, and Amiibo costs like 13 bucks at the very least. So that was you know, hey, why not? They eventually re-released this bundle, but with the other colors. So they had like a bundle with Yoshi's Woolly World in the blue Yarn Yoshi, and Yoshi's Woolly World in the pink Yarn Yoshi. And then Mario Party 10 launched with an Amiibo bundle with the Mario Amiibo included, and that was the only way to get the Mario Amiibo for a limited time. And then Captain Toad Treasure Tracker got an Amiibo bundle later down the line, like in 2015 or so, and it included the Toad Amiibo. So there's so many options. This was a purchase I still don't understand why I made to this very day, the Xenoblade Chronicles X Special Edition. This is when I was getting very serious about Wii U and just buying all the Nintendo published games. Even though, like, I passed up on Mario Tennis Ultra Smash or whatever, but I kind of made it a duty to pick up most of, like, the big Nintendo published games for Wii U and 3DS at the time. Like, I picked up Happy Home Designer, even though I didn't really have much of an interest in it at the time. I picked up Triforce Heroes. I picked up Amiibo Festival, and then I passed on Mario Tennis Ultra Smash after Amiibo Festival pissed me off. Xenoblade Chronicles X, I kind of wanted to support just good, big quality Wii U games, even if this wasn't necessarily my thing, but I'll give it another chance eventually. It's just, these games are so long. But yeah, they had the special edition available at Best Buy on Xenoblade Chronicles X's release date, and this was just a case of just like seeing a special edition for a niche game on a niche console on release date. I decided to pick it up. And considering I just did not have a lot of disposable income at the time, that was stupid of me. But hey, you know, it's whatever. I have no idea how much these go for these days, so maybe that was a wise investment, maybe it wasn't. But yeah, this is a legitimate special edition. This comes with various things, such as a 100-page art book, the game, a matted art card, and the digital soundtrack on a USB card, which wasn't the greatest. That soundtrack, it was very limited, you know, and it's just like when you're putting it on a USB drive, it's something where it's just like, why limit yourself? That USB drive was so tiny. I don't know if it'll tell me how much is on it, but I'll at least put it right here, how much was on it, and it only worked on Windows. At least it says right here. Only compatible with Windows 8, 7, Vista, 2003, and XP. So, you know I wasn't touching this thing. The matted art card and art book were really nice. This was a fine special edition overall. It's just like they always mess up like one little thing, and this digital soundtrack was just kind of pointless. Like, you know, like at least with a CD, that where everybody can use a CD, and you know, that's at least more of a tangible thing to hold. Even though this is a tangible thing to hold, but a USB drive just isn't as cool because everybody can put something on a USB drive, and considering everybody can put something on a CD, but not on a press disc. I don't know, I'm just rambling. Because there's a difference between burning a disc and pressing a disc. Because pressing a disc is something generally only like major like companies can do. Burning a disc is something anybody can do. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm just trying to make excuses as to why why some things in this set weren't amazing. But hey, it's still like, look at that. You have a kind of an embossed, raised just artwork here. It's a very nice set. I can't complain about it that much. I just think the USB drive wasn't ideal. Taking similar notes from the Xenoblade Special Edition, this is one I was always kind of interested in. I don't know why. I think because I bought the Xenoblade one, I was like, oh, well, I'm the Wii U Special Edition guy now. I gotta get this. I eventually got it on eBay. These are not that expensive. You know, considering this is a even nicher game on a niche platform during like this, you know, the year of its demise pretty much in 2016, this is still like fairly reasonably priced. It's like under $100, so that's pretty interesting. And I always thought this was going to be much bigger. This always looked very similar to how they did the Xenoblade Special Edition. Like, it looked very similar to me in terms of like how it was styled and all that. I saw this rectangular black box with the Wii U logo and all that, and I just thought like, oh, this will be the same size as the Xenoblade Special Edition, but no, it's it's much smaller, which is very, very interesting. But yeah, this released in June of 2016, and I decided I had to decide between this and Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. If you know me, you probably know I'd probably enjoy Mario and Sonic a little bit more, even though that game wasn't good. I decided on this one because I thought this was going to be harder to find, and I don't like that mentality. I don't like that mentality. I know, like, I buy a bunch of garbage, but I hate the mentality of like, well, I'm going to buy this even because it'll be worth more, even though I don't care about it that much. Like, I don't like that mentality. I like to play my games, I swear. But I decided on that back in 2016. I made my choices, and yeah, it turned out this one never really raised in price that much. Even though I don't sell these things, I think it was mainly because I didn't want to regret it later down the line. I didn't want to, you know, get to like 2018, 2019, and I'm like, man, you know, I wish I bought Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but you know, it's incredibly hard to find. It's out of print, and it's just like, you know, it's like worth $400. You know, I didn't want to get to that point, but it never got to that point. It was always fairly reasonably priced, including the special edition. Mario and Sonic was the tricky one. This special edition, I haven't actually looked at it that much. It includes an art book and soundtrack CD, so they at least did that instead, which is definitely why this is a much smaller package. It's just they could definitely just fit everything in a cardboard box that was shaped very similarly to the regular Wii U case. Yeah, at the very least, they included a soundtrack CD, so they had that going for them instead of the weird USB drive. Not a bad one. Speaking of Mario and Sonic, I bought this one recently. This is a Japanese version of Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, and it comes with 2 Wii remotes. I found it interesting they did red and white. Does that have anything to do with, like, this year in particular? Like, do those colors? Because red can represent Mario, I guess, since Sonic has a lot of white involved, but there was a blue Wii remote, so I think that's interesting. But the blue Wii remote was in the Mario and Sonic Sochi 2014 Olympic Wii Winter Games bundle. And I can't find that one anywhere. I went on eBay because I kind of felt I was in the mood to buy a Mario and Sonic Wii U bundle, and this was the only one that they really had available. And it's a better bundle because you get 2 Wii remotes in there. But the Mario and Sonic Sochi 2014 Wii remote bundle, that was hard to find. I couldn't find that. Yeah, this one includes 2 Wii remotes, which that's a pretty good deal. We didn't get this in the States. I'm not sure about Europe, but yeah. This game isn't very good. We're about to wrap things up. This is the second to last I have, and this is a European exclusive. Now, this I'm kind of fudging with my rules a little bit, considering this was pretty much the only way this was released in Europe, was via this limited edition, which was interesting considering it was the only edition. But Project Zero, you might know this better as Fatal Frame here in the States. We never got this game physically in the States. Even when it came over to the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS5, whatever. Yeah, it still didn't get a physical release here in the States, which I think was ridiculous. I think if you were going to go to all the trouble of re-releasing this game, at the very least, make it a physical release. I think because it was digital only to some extent, I think a lot of people just didn't even realize the game came out when it came out. Like, it's out. I never saw anybody really talk about it. I think people didn't even realize that it came out. And I still haven't bought it on Switch. And I want to, because I kind of want to support niche projects like this. But they just didn't really have a lot of faith in this game. Even in Europe, where they did give it a physical release, though, it was the limited edition only. But it comes with quite a bit of stuff. You get a steelbook, art book, spirit photographs, which is pretty cool considering, you know, it's Fatal Frame. It's about taking pictures of spirits. And then a double-sided poster. Yeah, you got it physically this way. At least in Japan, it was more widespread. Like, you could just buy the game physically without having to invest in a big, bulky collector set. But hey, it's still pretty cool that it happened in Europe. I really wish it happened in North America, but the way they released it here in North America was as one of those free-to-try things, where the only way you could download the game was via a free demo. Pretty much, you download the entire game for free, but then you can only play a certain amount of it, and then after that, it's just like, oh, buy the game. That was more of an experiment, if anything, for Nintendo. I think a lot of investors were getting on Nintendo for not doing mobile games, not doing free-to-play, free-to-start games, whatever, so they experimented a lot with pricing structures during the Wii U 3DS days. And Fatal Frame was a very interesting thing to do that with. I guess that was a way for them to try to get more people interested in the series, but man, downloading a demo that's like tens of possibly 20 gigabytes, I'm just like, nobody wants to do that. And this is the last Wii U Special Edition that I really have. This is one of the final Wii U releases, if not the final Wii U physical release. I had to get this. This is Shakedown Hawaii by V Blank, and they're more well known for Retro City Rampage. That never released on Wii U. It was interesting because that was notoriously a WiiWare game, and it got delayed until it finally released in like 2013 for WiiWare. And that was like, you know, a couple months after the Wii U released. You know, like when they would ask V-Blank, like, hey, are you going to do a Wii U version? And you basically like, the WiiWare version is right there. Just play that one. The sequel, or the spiritual sequel, Shakedown Hawaii, came out on Wii U. And they had the chance to do a physical release. And They did, which is very cool. Now, this isn't technically a special edition, it's just kind of a limited release, but they did release this special edition version alongside it, and I was able to nab both this and that, which I'm happy about. The special edition is just kind of in a special edition case. That's kind of it. I still have it. I still have it sealed. It's it's the same thing as before. But what do we have here? We have the soundtrack included, which yeah, that's cool. You know, it would have been cooler if it's on like a physical thing, but hey, you know, like I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It's, you know, like I didn't buy this for a soundtrack, but yeah, for a special edition, this is a little weak. It's just pretty much like you get it in a kind of a collector's case with a unique art, and that's pretty much all that's unique about it. But hey, either way, it was cool that the final Wii U release got something special. And those are all my Wii U special editions. I'm obviously missing a couple, which, you know, includes the Mario Kart 8 one with the blue shell, and Hyrule Warriors with the scarf. Yeah, those were Nintendo World Store exclusives and are worth about $1,000 each. And I'm willing to spend a lot of money on dumb stuff, but when it's something like that I just don't really have an inherent like reason to own, because it's just, you know, it's just Mario Kart 8 but with a figurine, and it's just Hyrule Warriors with a scarf, and I'm not necessarily somebody to really put stuff on display other than the games themselves. So something like that Mario Kart 8 special edition, like I wouldn't use the spiny shell, I wouldn't use the scarf with the Hyrule Warriors, like I wouldn't put them on display. I'd keep them in the box, and at that point I'm kind of like, you know, if I find it for a good price, then I'll get it. But, you know, I'm not gonna be scouring eBay for it personally. And, you know, I'll probably have to get them eventually. And I know I just said why I won't get the Mario Kart 8 or Hyrule Warriors one, but if I really want to go down in history being known as the Wii U I'm gonna have to take out a mortgage.